All right, first I'd like to thank you very much for using the canine program to have your dog trained. It was a lot of fun. He's kind of a handful, but I did the best I could with him. I think he turned out pretty good. You have to have him focusing on you when you give him a command, otherwise he's kind of all over the place. But he does listen, but as long as he has your attention. And thank you again for using the program. And I wanted to go over your profile at first, and explain to you what I did to correct some of his problems. Okay, you said that he runs up to people, he doesn't jump, but he almost knocks them over. Well, I kind of worked on a lot of fronts, and when I did recalls, I made sure he was easy, so I say easy to slow him down. This way he doesn't have a tendency to come in too fast. Now he will sometimes if he's excited, and there's maybe dogs playing, but in a controlled situation, I have him readily doing pretty good. And you can also tell him easy and then sit if you want to make sure he stops, so he doesn't come into you, and maybe bump into you. And then you said that he jumps at the back door. Well, what I did on that is I kind of had him jump on this door a little bit, put his paws up, and then and push him back. It's kind of hard because we don't have a back door. What I would recommend doing is put him on the prong collar, and when he jumps up, give him an and pop him backwards a little bit. Make sure he knows that he cannot jump up in the back door like that, because he could break your screen door. He's starting to climb on the couch. There again, that's kind of like an alpha. He tried to get on my bed a few times, so what I did is corrected him. Just tell him off. If you have to even push him off, push him, just make sure he does not get on the couch or your furniture. And it don't take many times, and pretty soon he'll realize that he can't get up on the furniture. Once they get up, then it's like a impossible breakdown to get him to stop doing it. I also says in here that you let him go out. He's outside all day with other dogs, so he pretty much plays all the time. So you will have to spend a little time going over, his learning down, and to make sure it stays fresh in his mind, because otherwise he'll kind of revert back. That covered. Oh, and I'm going to show you on the. You have checked off. You use the prong, the check, choke, and the flat. I would recommend just using the flat collar on him like he's around the yard. But when you take him out, I would use the prong. Reason being, if he sees a dog, sometimes he will turn away. Okay, turn away, he'll lunge at another dog. So what you want to do, there again, it's minimal correction. He's a big dog. He just takes a tight little pop on the leash for him to pay attention to you. Otherwise, he'll pull you all over. I've worked on it, but sometimes he wants to play. Play takes priority on him. So what I'll do is use the prong collar on him. In a minute, I'll show you how to put it on, the right way to use it. I use 12 links for him because of his size. I think they come like 10 links. I'm not sure what standard size are, but he needs 12 links. And you want to have it loose where it clicks together, which I'll show you right now on the prong collar. Rico, sit. I put it around him this way because I don't want to put it over his face because it kind of traumatizes sometimes dogs. Just wrap it around like this way. And when you see it, you want to pull it to where it just barely comes together like that. So it's just somewhat coming together. So it's actually it's not phasing him until it's popped. And it's always a pop and release. You don't want him putting tension on it. So basically you walk him a little bit, and if he gets ahead of you, Rico, pop, pop, pop. It's like that little pop and release. Remember, pop and release. Have a little slack in the leash like that. So he knows, so there's no tension in it. Rico, sit. Rico, down. And then he'll actually understand it. It's just a better way to handle him because he is pretty powerful. I don't know how big your husband and your wife are, but he does need a firm hand. And it's just because he doesn't know. He's kind of an adolescent, and you've got to kind of show him. Okay, the alphamanship, I want to explain what the alphamanship entails. Okay, when he's here, he's kennel trained, but we use a crate. The word kennel, so when you say kennel, he knows to go into his crate. That's where he eats. Okay, that's where he eats his meal twice a day. I extend it to 15 minutes. Usually we only give him 10 minutes, but he gets 15 minutes because he's a little slower eater, and I want to make sure he eats all he can because he's not a big eater. So I want to make sure he gets as much down as he can. He's eating about 4 cups and plus some treats, but I think he should be eating a little bit more, but I always put more in the bowl, but he always leaves some behind. Also, that's where he sleeps at night. See, that's, I'm sure you put on your profile that that's where you kennel him up too, so which is good. So he's quiet in the kennel, he doesn't make no noise. You also want to control all toys and all games. So if you're playing fetch with him, make sure you get the ball back. Don't let him chew on the ball, which I'll show you later, because if he starts chewing on it, it's just that much harder to get it out of his mouth. I would get him a rubber Kong to chew on. That would probably be a lot better. And just give him, periods of chew on it. Don't let him have it, forever. You can also, I taught him to wait because he has a tendency to bolt So when you open the door kennel, say wait. Make him wait a few seconds, okay, before you bolt out the kennel. The reason being is he's big and he can knock someone over, and that's part of alphamanship too. You control the space. You go through the threshold before he does. He doesn't bolt through no doorway. That's going through the doors, in and out to the rooms, outside, into the car. Make sure you lead him to where you want to go. Make sure you give him, never reward any negative response. In other words, stimulus. In other words, say like you were petting him, and he starts, you wrestle with him, and he starts mouthing you. Right away, you ought to stay, and you stop. Don't continue. Don't give him no positive reward for mouthing, licking, nipping, any of the stuff like that, because if you do, then eventually it just continues to get worse. No positive stimulus for jumping, up, corrective, barking, anything that you don't like. Even if you have to grab him by the flat buckle collar and say, and pull him off the couch or pop him back, whatever. Just make sure he understands that you're in charge and he can't get away with nothing. And then always end anything that you're doing on a positive note. So try to, in other words, if he does something good, praise him. Give him a lot of reward. Let him know that that's what you want. And no negative treatment. And then I groom him every day. I comb him every day, brush him. At first he didn't like it. He stands, you can brush him pretty much. So I make sure he gets brushed every day, that's another part of alphamanship. Please make sure you read the diary because it goes into detail. I also put a big bio on German Shepherds. I went and checked out a book about German Shepherds. I put a lot about how to train them. You'd have to challenge them. They're a very intelligent dog. They're also kind of independent, but they do learn, and they can learn a lot of different things if you take the time and the patience to teach them and show them what you want. Make sure that you have his attention, because he's still all over the place a little bit. Like when the dogs are playing, he wants to go play, and that's still a little bit of the puppy in him. So you have to make sure when you give him a command, he's paying attention. Otherwise, you're probably wasting your time because he's not going to be looking at you. Okay? I follow through on all your commands. So make sure if you say sit, he sits. So what you do if you say, Rico, sit, he doesn't sit. You go, sit. If he doesn't sit this time, you go, and you literally grab his leash, put his tail, pop him, make sure he sits, and then praise him. All you got to do is make sure whatever you tell him to do, he finishes up doing what you want him to do, and then praise him. So he learns this is what you want. He's very intelligent, and he will learn a lot if you take the time with him, and you will have to continue working with him. I'm going to go over stuff. I taught him how to roll. I taught him how to say hello. I taught him to stand. I taught him hand signals. Now there again, his basic obedience is on a good platform, but you need to keep working with him, even his hand signals. So what I'll do is I can get him to do it without saying it, but I would say for a while, use the hand and the verbal command at the same time. And this way, in time, you just have to make your hand signal. But I don't know if you use them or not, but at the very back of the diary explains the hand signals. And I'll show them to you too. I also taught him a few tricks. I taught him how to I taught him how to retrieve, and I also taught him the agility course, which I'll show you towards the end to show you, that what he's capable of doing. I use a leash on him because he's kind of big when I do the agility course, and you'll see because he kind of gets, and he's so wide and his course is small, so I'd rather leash him to show him how much good he can do and keep a good control of him. So I don't want him falling off and getting hurt because it's concrete out there. Okay, well, I'll show you here in a second. When I get his attention, I'll show some hand signals with you on him. First, I'll do this one. Rico. 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 Come on. Rico. Good boy. Good boy. Try to look at me. I'm getting a treat or something. Down. Yes. Now get focus. Rico, sit. Good boy. Rico, stand. Rico. Rico, stand. Rico, stand. Good stand. Stay. He knows how to stand pretty good too, but you got to get his focus. Rico. Good job. He knows how to say hello. Rico. Say hello. Say hello. Good boy. Yes, good job. He knows how to come. Rico, come. And I'll show you a second on his recall. I taught him how to pass and swing. He knows how to pass and swing pretty good. Keep on, just like I was saying in the video, keep working with the hand signals. Just use the hand signals with the verbal command until he gets them really sharp. Rico, sit. He knows how to Rico. Sit. Good boy. Rico, pass. He knows pass. Pass. Good boy, sit. Good boy. He knows how to swing pretty good. Rico, swing. Swing. Good, swing. Sit. See, he's kind of looking around. There again, you can see that he's not really paying good attention. That's the focus in him. Rico. Down. Down. Rico. You got to kind of get him on this way to roll. Good boy. Because he's big and he rolls to the right. he does it pretty good, but it's still there again. That's something you can continue working with him a little bit. He was kind of hard. I didn't realize when I started working him that he's kind of long-bodied, and it's kind of harder to roll a dog this big. But he does do it pretty good. I'll show you a little fetch. Take off the prong collar. I use the word drop on his fetch. Let's get this up that way. All right, come here. Sit. He actually loves the ball. Took me a while to get him to do it good, but he does pretty good. He enjoys it. Wait, kind of still hold him a little bit because Rico, take it. So just so he learns how to go get the ball and bring it back to you. Come. And then I work on the drop. So what I do on the drop, I go like this. I hold him. Rico, drop, 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 drop. The reason I do that because he'll try to get the ball again. So just kind of hold him on the collar, and this way you'll get the ball out of him a lot easier than fighting with him. I taught him how to back, so he knows how to back. He can back him up this way. Rico, Rico, back, 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 back. He knows how to back good. Or if you get in a tight hallway, Rico, back, 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 back. He'll back up. I taught him that. I kind of worked on his stays. His stays pretty solid. Sometimes he makes a minor mistake if the dog pounces on him or runs by him real close, but his stays pretty good. I try to work on his obedience better, and I worked on his recall, so I'll kind of show you. He has a pretty good recall. Stay. Got to put the ball away because you see he loves playing the ball. But that's a good for him. It's a good exercise. Stay. And then I'll show you the hand signal to the count. Rico, come. That's it. Actually, I made sure he stopped. He didn't run into me. Usually, if he's focused like on one-on-one, he does a recall perfect. So you won't have no trouble in jumping on you. Just if something's distracting behind you, he might make a mistake. I want to go ahead in a minute, and we'll go out to the agility course, and I'll show you the agility course.